Hey guys, Nugi here, and today's subject, hardcore versus softcore. As many of you may have noticed, in Diablo 3, the Reaper of Souls, I've decided to go softcore, stepping away from hardcore, which I've been playing for the majority of the last 2 years in PoE, and in the beginning of Diablo 3 as well. So, to start off, I'm not trying with this video to say which is better. This will always come down to personal preference. Whenever someone says that you're not allowed to or you should be playing something else, just tell them to shut up, because it's all about your enjoyment, and in the end it's all about my enjoyment as well, and what you want to achieve and what kind of goals and where you what do you gain from playing on either hardcore or softcore. So, enjoyable gameplay, what is that? So for me, enjoyable gameplay is gameplay where I feel I am in control, that I can do most of what I want to do, that I'm not too reliant on long and tedious gameplay. Alright, so in PoE, let's start with that. You can log out. A lot of people are very against this log out mechanic, but it is there to incentivize faster gameplay. It is there to add certain elements to the game where they can, from a design perspective, add more spike damage and more a different type of challenge, where quick reactions are very, very important. In Diablo 3, you have a 10-second logout timer. This means that you're stuck in battle. It means that you have to assess situations from you have to look at every battle in a longer perspective. You can't always just go in face first and then having your panic button ready if you're quick with your reflexes. In PoE you still die. There's plenty of one-shot mechanics. There are plenty of times where you get too cocky and you stay in the fight too long and you end up dying. In D3 you're stuck. If you get the wrong pack, there's nothing you can do, literally. It's a matter of you're doomed, you're dead, you just have to, I guess, wait for it. You can run around like a headless chicken, and that's fine, but this is how I see it personally. This is how I perceive it, because you have to play a little bit more careful with a longer logout timer. If you want to survive in the long run, you can play more recklessly, but what happens is that if you do that, there is a way higher tendency to die. So a lot of the control is removed. You could argue that is somehow a more hardcore experience, though you do not lose Paragon points in hardcore in Diablo. So there's that. In PoE you lose all your levels and you lose your gear. So in terms of losing your gear, in D3 you can just, because of with the new loot system, you can just stock up on another set, right? Okay, you can just stock up on the items, you're not really that far behind, you can get back into the game pretty easy. Why just not do that in hardcore? Well, with this kind of solo self-found system there is in D3 right now, what happens is this: if you're one like me who likes to do wonky builds, who likes to experiment, and who likes to experiment where there's a high potential of death, if you do the build, like the experimental build, you might lose out on key parts of your gear. These can be very, very difficult to acquire. To acquire the combinations to make these builds work can be very tedious in D3, because you're reliant on the drops. You cannot trade for them. In PoE you can trade for them. So in PoE you trade, you accumulate wealth, and by accumulating this wealth you have a safe net so that you're not excluded from these build enabling items. You can always trade for them again. So you're not set back maybe several weeks until you find these items again. And this was the main part. I lost out on a few build enabling items on hardcore, and I thought, well, looking forward, if this happens more than once, and if it's not even my fault, let's say there is a server disconnect, server issues. I've experienced more issues in Diablo than in PoE in terms of server issues. I've seen more frequent deaths due to this. I've had good connections with PoE. I know some people have not, so it's not really a, like, I have seen Blizzard being DDoSed a lot, so it's not on their end, but I have to take into account that these issues are there, and they do pose a significant threat to my characters and to what I want to achieve. Like, I like doing these YouTube videos, I want to do build videos and all this, and that's why I've chosen to go softcore. A lot of people say, well, you don't get the same excitement. Well, I've had this excitement about going hardcore for 2 years now. I'm not that affected by it anymore, losing a character. I like making creative builds now. That's what makes me personally have fun with the game. So the constant threat of dying is sort of, it's there, it's fun, but it's not really driving me towards that anymore. So I really feel that in PoE, with the whole trade system that can get you back to the build enabling specs, my experience with server issues and logout issues and just the tending to be more rewarding towards faster gameplay on hardcore and PoE, that's why I would choose hardcore and PoE. In D3, I really love D3. I must say, like, let's not get this wrong, I'm playing it right now and I'm enjoying it to the fullest. There's a lot of builds I want to do, there's a lot of items I want to acquire, the way you acquire them and some of the systems that they've set in place, and with the upcoming leaderboards and ladders, this is going to be a lot of fun. And I don't think that I'm going to reach the maximum of all my gear and all that doing one of these seasons that they're announcing. We don't have all the everything yet in terms of info on how they're going to be, but just from the initial hints we've gotten, it seems to be that I would not believe that I would get bored on softcore that many would fear. So I've chosen to go softcore. Both are valid options. The last 2 years have been a blast on hardcore, but for now in D3 I'll stay on softcore. Maybe in season 2 I would go hardcore when I have everything down and I've tried everything I need to. Then I might go hardcore again in D3, but we'll see when that time comes. So I hope you guys thought about hardcore versus softcore. Maybe you're not that afraid anymore to say that, well, I choose to go softcore because I get a more enjoyable experience. So let's get rid of the hate and the debate about hardcore and softcore, and let's just have fun with the games, because isn't that what it's all about? I think so. Yeah. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys next time.